Hello everyone. After we have the geometry, we're going to create the topology. So here I will right click on fluid and select new geometry part and click OK. So now in parts we see a body 1, and under body 1 we have surfaces and curves, and then under surfaces there is a default. I will rename body 1 to fluid as well. And what we are going to do in the topology is to separate the surface into small surfaces so that later on we can name them as boundaries or the simulation domains. And first I'll create a geometry scene. By clicking this icon, I'll select geometry and I'll see the geometry that we created. So this geometry scene basically reflects the parts over here we have, and now I'll right click on default and select split by patch. So in this window I'm going to split the surfaces. Here I'll select this surface and rename it to inlet and create. And after we name the surface will be gone in this window. And then I'll go to the other side, select this surface and name it as outlet and select create. And then I will select these 4 walls. I'll select this one and use Control to select the second one, and use Control to select the third one and the fourth one. And I'll name them as wall and create. And what we left over here is the top surface and the bottom surface and the fin surfaces. I will select the fin surfaces, but not from the window over here, but from the number. So here I'll use Shift to select all of the surfaces, and you can see it, those highlighted surface, that's the fins. So I'll just rename them as fins and create. And now there are only 2 surfaces left, the top surface and the bottom surface. And because we're doing a 2D simulation, they will only consider the face that lies on XY plane, so which is the bottom surface. So I'll name this surface as domain and select create. Then I'll close this window, and now we'll see there's a lot of surfaces over here. Instead of default, we have domain and fins and inlet, outlet, and wall. And now I'll right click on fluid and create mesh operation and select mesh and select batch for 2D meshing and click OK. And then there's a new icon over here. I'll just right click and select execute, and you'll see that the colors change in the tree. The domain is a field icon which represents the simulation domain, and these empty icons represent the boundaries. So after that, I'll right click on fluid and then assign parts to regions. And I'll create a boundary for each part to create a boundary for each part surface, and click apply and then close. And you can expand regions over here. You can see there's a new regions. So I'll right click and rename it as fluid as well. So now we finished the topology. After the topology, we're going to set the physics and other boundaries condition inside the regions. And here I'll click this icon to save current simulation.